we've been discussing.
Give them like a.
Oh.
Give them like a.
Yeah, so we need a little bit of a review of what we've done, a little bit of background what we've done. I was asked to discuss the sugya of, a little bit of, the Shivisha Sprach, sugya, the word sugya that, I was asked to discuss the sugya of B'tochen. And it's on everybody's mind, anybody who's working with B'tochen. So the question is, what is my chiyuv v'shtadlus? And in my opinion, it's a mistake. That's not the question. What's my chiyuv v'shtadlus?
Can you just translate, Rabbi? Is it possible that?
Hishtadlus. Hishtadlus is effort. The chiyuv means the obligation. The Torah obligates us. The Torah tells us there's a mitzvah of b'tochen. B'tochen means trust in a Kodesh Baruch Hu. There's Emunah and there's b'tochen. Let's get used to the word b'tochen. Hebrew is a full language, and when you translate it into English, it loses. Emunah is faith. Well, not exactly. Emunah is more than faith. It's translated as faith. I have faith in God. No, Emunah is belief. Even more than that, it has a very deep meaning, because Emunah means steadfast. Emunah means loyal. A person who has Emunah, not only does he believe in a HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the Holy One, blessed be He. This sounds so terrible in English, but in Hebrew it's HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and it means the Creator. So we that is the foundation of Yiddishkeit, the foundation of Yiddishkeit, the Gruah, the Vilna Gaon. He says that the whole purpose, the goal, the place where Torah leads us, we were given Torah and mitzvos. At Har Sinai, the Jews were given Torah and mitzvos. That's our mission in life. But what's the goal? The goal is b'tochen. Trust in a Kodesh Baruch Hu. Trust in a Kodesh Baruch Hu is not just trusting in Him. So there's Emunah and there's b'tochen. The question where everything is revealed in the Torah. The Sefer HaChinuch says, where do we know the mitzvah of Emunah? It's in the first of the Seres HaDivos, the Ten Commandments. Anochi Hashem Elokecha, I am Hashem Elokecha. That means believe, have Emunah that Anochi, I am Hashem Elokecha. Now that's a very, very important concept which has been corrupted because of our journey through the diaspora, our journey through Golis, and the Christians have taken it over. The Christians say that we reneged on our covenant with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and therefore they, of course, took it over, and they are the real Yisrael, and which anyway. Well, I won't go into all that, but the whole Christian society. So they claim that they believe in God. Well, not exactly, because the way we believe in God is not the way they believe in God. Because it says, "Anochi Hashem Elokecha, Elokecha." I'm your God. I'm your God. He's mine. And this is repeated over and over and over again. What do we say? Every bracha that we say, we have to make 100 brachas a day. So Chazal, the sages of blessed memory, the Chazal, I can't stand the English. The Chazal,
Christians don't have.
He's a general. They can't because they have.
They don't have Ten Commandments. They don't.
They have believe.
They have.
Theoretically, they believe. Anyway, a good Christian will be a believing person. There's an Ein Yaakov. I don't want to go into it now, but I have a whole Ein Yaakov. The brachas in brachas Daf Zayin. There's a whole Ein Yaakov on what's the difference between the Goyim, there's B'nai Noach, and there's Yisroel, the Yidden. So the Bnei Noach believe in creation. Creation means I believe that there's a God. God created the world. There's a whole organization. I'm following them. In Seattle, it's the Intelligent Design Group, and they are top-notch PhD professors and scientists, and they are proving evolution to be false. It's been disproven by scientists and mathematicians and with communications theory, because the DNA is all it's a communication. It's a computer program. DNA is a computer program. Bill Gates said that DNA is a computer program which is 300 times more complicated than Microsoft.
That's all 300?
Huh?
That's
Only
all-
300
only
times.
300.
Yeah, that's his idea.
It's a safe number. Nobody's gonna argue.
I think maybe he was praying for himself that Microsoft is so complicated. It's only 300.
Anyway, it's a computer program. Now you cannot say a computer program evolved out of nothing. There was a big bang. They explained. I forget exactly who it's. I think it was Fred Hoyle. Fred Hoyle said, to believe in evolution, and Big Bang theory is like saying that you have a junkyard, and all of a sudden a tornado came into the junkyard, and everything went like that, and all of a sudden you got a Boeing 747. It's not even ridiculous. It's just it's stupid.
Nonsense.
It's nonsense. It's nonsense. You cannot say that a human being came from just random and even a trillion. Darwin did not have the tools that we have today. First of all, we know that the DNA is a language. Just like you have a computer language, which is a dual language. It's made of two. What's binary? Binary. So right. This is a quadrary. This is a quadrary language. It's a language, and it gives instructions, and it's got all the instructions of exactly how to put it together. It's something that we need a disk with 1 tera disk. And you got a little tiny cell. You got that much information. It's mind-boggling. That first of all, so the communications theory just destroys Darwin. Secondly, they didn't have the ability with computers. We can do probability. So now they've checked the probability of how much. What's the probability of going from a one-cell protein to a complicated bug, not even a mammal, but to a bug. What's the probability? And it would take more years than the universe has been in existence. According to the astronomical estimate, the universe is 14.5 billion years old, and it would take more years of combinations of mutations and accidents. That would take a couple of trillion, not billion, couple of trillion years, maybe, and even then it wouldn't happen. So there's not enough years in the universe for evolution to happen, even to a small amoeba. So much more so. Anyway, so they believe in creation. They believe in if a goy, Ben Noah can believe in creation, a God of creation. We have in Kiddush, we have two bases of believing of Emunah in Kiddush. One is Oisa Maisa Bereshis. That's Emunah, that there is a God. There is a God who created the world. That's what the Goyim have, and it stops there. It stops there. This is not my topic today. But what we have something else. We have Hashgacha Pratis, that a Kadosh Baruch Hu is direct supervision, intrinsic, direct detailed supervision over all of our lives. He takes an interest in us. And that's Yetzias Mitzrayim. We saw that in Yetzias Mitzrayim in the Exodus, in the 10 plagues, in the Eser Makas. We saw that Kosh Baruch Hu is actually in our world, acting, and he can change things at will. What we call Hashgacha Pratis, detailed supervision. Hashgacha Pratis is detailed supervision. And not only that, that's what we say in Kiddush. So we have the two concepts of Emunah. Emunah in the creation, in the Kodesh Baruch Hu, that he created the world. It's designed, but then you could say he wound it up and let it go by itself. Laws of nature, and it looks like there's just laws of nature, and the laws of nature seem to be independent of a Kodesh Baruch Hu. He just wound it up and it goes by itself, and we have to live in the world with the laws of nature, and that's what a good goy does. He lives in the world. He has to be a good person within the laws of nature.
Yeah, but why does he pray? He prays to God in order to.
Of course, everybody wants to get something out of him.
I'm
All the
saying
religions.
it doesn't help.
What's the concept of
No,
religion?
it doesn't help.
He will.
It doesn't help to pray to God.
He will help. He will help. He'll direct a little bit. He'll stick his hands in. He'll stick his fingers in a little bit to help you. But, these big hands coming out of heaven, and they're giving you little presents here and there. But but there's nature, and then there's heaven. There's heaven and earth. There's two different things. We have to live in earth, and we daven to heaven that he should help us. God helps those who help themselves.
That's not the Jewish way.
No, not at all. Not at all. Because when we daven, we say Baruch Atah Hashem, Yud Kei Vav Kei. Now Yud Kei Vav Kei, when you say the Yud Hey Vav Hey, that's where you have to daven in Hebrew, not in English. You're allowed to daven in English. You can daven in any language, but you should daven in Hebrew and learn and crystallize and visualize the words, because what's Yud Hey Vav Hey? It's Hove. It's Hoya, Hove, V'yihiyeh. It's all of existence. Yud Hey Vav Hey is all of existence. It was, is, will be, past, present, and future is all Hashem. All of existence is Yud Hey Vav Hey. It's deep Kabbalah and Yonah concepts. What exactly is the universe? HaKadosh Baruch Hu, he's the universe. He's the universe. He's everywhere. He is the universe. He is all of existence. When you daven Shmona Esrei and you take your 3 steps forward, first you take 3 steps back, and then go Al Yisrael, and then you take your 3 steps forward. Baruch Atah Hashem. So the Telz Rav says that when we say Yud Hey Vav Hey, Baruch Atah Hashem, you are now standing in front of all of existence. Now, the Mukubalim, the Chazal, they put a prefix to this. Hashem's foresight tiftach u'piyagid tivasecha. So why did they stick that in? Because if you really understood what you were doing when you said Baruch Atah Hashem, and you realized you're standing in front of Hashem, you would faint on the spot. So therefore, and Hashem's foresight tiftach, don't let me faint, let me open my mouth, let me be able to daven. So that's why they have the prefix Hashem's foresight tiftach. And then we say that, so that's Hashem. So Hashem, who is the universe, is Elokeinu. Now that is a powerful statement. Elokim, I say Elokim, we don't say the actual, try not to say the actual names of the Kodesh Baruch Hu. It's too holy for us to utter. So Elokim, we mentioned last time, is hateva, is nature. In other words, nature is really Elokim. Elokim is nature. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, He is nature. He's ruling nature. He's running nature. He's supervising nature. So He's Elokim. Elokim is nature. So all of Ateva, everything that it looks like nature, it looks natural. It looks like it's following just these blind, random, undirected laws, right? But nature is Hashem, is Elokim. But not only is nature Elokim, so we're saying within nature, He's Elokeinu. He's our Elokim. Because the Kodesh Baruch Hu chose us. We are from Avraham Avinu. And Avraham Avinu, in a world of pure Avodah Zorah, of pure idol worshippers. It was, the epitome of the atheists. Atheists even worse than idol worshipper. They don't even believe in anything, the atheists. But it's pure non-belief. And he fought it all along, and he came to a recognition of not only there's an intelligent design of Hashem, but He's here in the universe. And because of that, Kodesh Baruch Hu chose him and says, "You're mine." And He made a covenant with Avraham Avinu, and therefore all the generations from Avraham Avinu, from Yitzchak, Yaakov, and down to Mitzrayim and Moshe Rabbeinu, and then at Har Sinai, He made us His nation. We are His people. We are His children. And therefore we have a special relationship with the Kodesh Baruch Hu, with Hashem. And we have to understand that. That's what it's all. So therefore it's Baruch Atah Hashem Elokeinu. He's ours. The Goyim don't have that. They live within nature. They can believe. They can be good people. They will get their reward for being good people, following the 7 mitzvahs of Bnei Noach. There are 7 mitzvahs: the social justice, social order. The Goyim have social order. That's what the 7 mitzvahs of Bnei Noach are. Yerushalayim, we live in Yerushalayim. Now, Yerushalayim is a combination of 2 names. Never thought of that, did you? It's a combination of 2 names. So 2 people gave names to Yerushalayim. First was Shem ben Noach. Well, he didn't actually give the name, but he lived in Sholem. Shem ben Noach, Shem was the son of Noach, and he took over being the Kohen Gadol. Noach was the Kohen Gadol until after the flood, and then after Noach, Shem took over, and he was the Kohen Gadol. And the city was called Sholem. Sholem means peace. It's a city of peace, a city of perfection. It's social justice.
Shalom.
Shalem. Well, it's
A whole.
Hebrew. It's got all the meanings. Hebrew. That's why Hebrew is so full. All the meanings. That's why you go by the shirish. You go by the simple explanation, shalem, and it's also shalom, and what's shalom? What's peace? Is shlemus. Like Pinchas, this in Parshas Pinchas, Brisi Shalom. It's a shlemus. That's why he lives forever. He became Eliyahu Navi. Pinchas, because he had shlemus. Because Baruch gave him a matana of shlemus. So they have social justice, and that's the shlemus of the Goyim. The Zayin Mitzvah B'nai Noach, and that was Shem ben Noach. He was a tzaddik. Shem ben Noach was a tzaddik. And Avram gave him Meiser when after the war with the five kings. So when he out of the booties he gave Meiser. Meiser Mikol to who? Shem ben Noach, because he was the Kohen Gadol. So he gave him the Meiser. After the Akedah.
What was the definition of Kohen Gadol those days? What's a Kohen Gadol? Was it a king?
He was the high priest of a representative of Hashem. There were people who, Avram Avinu, he was Makara people. Shem also would try to be Makara people. He didn't do such a great job, but there were people. There were tzaddikim. You have Chanoich and Eno. You had a lot of tzaddikim, and he was the high priest. There were a lot of idol worshippers. Very few believers, but of the believers, he was the high priest. And he had a city. You see, he had a certain amount of power. He ruled over the city of Shalem. So he had.
So the Jewish hashkafa is that there's also there machlokas hashgacha pratis. If Hashem gets involved in every small thing that happens in the world, or he just put in his
Hashem
his
helps
halacha
those
in
who
nature.
help. There's nature, runs by itself.
No, but Hashem created the nature, so
Yes.
it should run by itself.
And runs by itself. But he gets involved because people have to be good and they need to be rewarded. So sometimes he'll.
So the good idea is Hashem get involved every second, every
No.
detail.
No.
Or there's
According to what?
there's a few shitas of that, no?
All right, whatever
No,
they.
I'm saying-
But they do not have Hashgacha Pratis.
But
But there's she. Wait,
No, I'm talking about that it should be the
Do
Jews.
we have
I'm
a
talking about the Jews,
the-
not the Goyim.
we believe there's Hashgacha Pratis even by the animals. I'm saying what the basic, the basic Goyish concept. Now, are there?
No, but we say Hashgacha pratis with the animals, which means if an animal is sick, right? If it's
According
gonna
to the
die,
Baal
die,
Shem-
it's
there's-
a nature, it's a
there-
nature thing, right? Right? It's the nature.
It's
The animal's sick is eventually
there's-
gonna die unless
there's a-
something
there's-
weird happens.
There's a Miri who says like that. There are some Rishonim who learn like that. It's a machlekes among the Rishonim, but there's a raya from a medrash. It's also the Baal Shem Tov. This famous medrash Shimon Bar Yochai, that there was Shimon Bar Yochai was hiding from the Romans and he didn't know whether to leave the cave or not. And he went out and he saw a hunter, and he was hunting birds, and he heard a voice from Shemayim. I mean, after 13 years in the cave, so he was able to communicate with, hear what's going on in heaven. So he heard a voice coming out of Shemayim, saying on one bird, "Run, fly, fly." So the bird was told to fly, and the bird flew, and he didn't get caught by the hunter. And he heard another one, trapped. So the bird did not run away, and he got trapped by the hunter. So he said, "Oh, everything's been a Shemayim. So if everything's been a Shemayim, so they can't touch me." That's how they gave him a revelation of how strong Hashgacha Pratis is, that they can't touch me if I really believe in Hashgacha Pratis. Therefore, I can leave the cave.
Temple though. Why can't you?
No,
No, he's saying that he heard a basketball.
No, I know, but why can't you say that is?
yeah, that's Teva.
Okay,
But
that's
Teva is
Teva.
Hashgacha Pratis. It's more than.
It's
Tev-
laws of physics.
Tev-
Okay, great. You just said that's
No.
you're
No, no,
trapped.
no, no, no,
you're
no, no.
free.
No. If you believe in Teva, it just works by itself because of the rules of nature.
Yeah, because
You don't need the sound coming out of
the
heaven
creator
trapped.
is, was,
It's what-
is, will be.
No.
So we're all stuck in this plane
Okay,
of
so
existence.
is
And
it
the
a
only
giant
variable is
machine
abundance.
that just runs by itself and it's got millions of details in it, but it's not directed, or is it a computer organized? The computer has revolutionized our concept of Hashgacha Pratis. Hashgacha Pratis of nature, according to this shita, this medrash of Shimon Bar Yochai, Hashgacha Pratis is that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is like there's millions of what do you call it? the
Circuits?
millions of circuits, millions of little computers, and each computer is directing hundreds of thousands of machines, and you have this direction, this computer directing this computer directing that, and then you have another series of computers directing these computers. It's a whole system. It's a whole system of computers, but there's one major computer director, on top, that's watching the whole thing and jiggling it and making a tweak here and a tweak there so that it looks like it's all running by itself, but he tweaked it so that it comes out a certain way. If you have a whole bunch of random things, but on top you have one guy tweaking it and he knows the formula, so he can make it go this way or he can make it go that way, all the way at the end. That's Kodesh Baruch Hu. So he's tweaking it. Kodesh Baruch Hu is controlling it all the way up on top. This computer has revolutionized our visualization of who Kodesh Baruch Hu is.
So, how is that different from the view of the Goyim? of how Kodesh Baruch Hu works, that is in nature, but he makes a small tweak there, a small tweak there. If I pray, he'll give a little something to
Can I
me.
say
Like,
something?
We believe it's constant.
Can I say something?
Yes.
I believe that we as people, person as Tzelem Elokim, okay, the fact that we do stuff and build stuff even in business world, okay, and we produce and build like the whole hierarchy organization stuff, and even if it's with text like shurim, even if it's actual physical stuff or anything we do actually. This is our Hashgacha, Hashgacha,
Materialization.
materialization of Tzelem Elokim, that we put ourselves into this thing. And this is kind of what we, kind of a shlichus or Hashgacha and materialization of Tzelem Elokim that we put into
We
the
can
world.
be small
And
gods.
it's not small God, that's
Zashpam.
our purpose to bring the Jewish and the Elokut into the stuff that we put into the world.
Excellent. You want to give the share?
Is what he's saying right?
Huh?
Is what he's saying true? Is that true? Is that true that
Well, is that true? It's
It's Hasidish, no? Hasidut?
it is so. We have to have a split personality. When it comes to Emunah, we have to have a split personality. We have to. Man has to live with 2 feet on the ground, and his head up in heaven. Now he's right, from one perspective, a major perspective, and you have to live like that, and it gives you a tremendous impetus and motivation, and you feel very, first of all, you have to feel good about yourself, and therefore if I feel that I am a shliach of a Kodesh Baruch Hu within the realm that I'm in, whether it's the realm of business or the realm of whatever, your family life, your community life,
Only if you come from Shulchan Aruch.
only if, of course, we have, our job is to follow the Shulchan Aruch and follow Yiddishkeit and spread Hashem's name throughout the world. Where every Jew is a shliach of a Kodesh Baruch Hu. We are company representatives. Wherever a Jew goes, he's a company representative. When I first came into yeshiva, I came into yeshiva and I was wet behind the ears. I was just a young little bacher. I was a bacher. I was 22 years old. What did I know? And I didn't know very much. But I joined the yeshiva, and then I went back home to my shul, and they said, "Rabbi," and they started asking me questions. I just got here. What are you asking me? No, they look at every yeshiva bacher as a company representative. Doesn't matter how long he's been there. It's a mistake. You got to ask somebody who's been there, an expert. But that's who we are. And how do the goyim look at us? The goyim look at us. I remember my mother, Oleh Shalom. She was sick in the hospital, and I went to visit her, and it was in Clifton, New Jersey. And I'm walking down the aisle, down the hallway, and there was a black nurse, and she says, "Are you a rabbi?" Okay, I think so. And like says, "Can I ask you a question, Rabbi?" "Yeah, sure." Says, "What are the strings?" Oh, you mean these things? Yeah. What are those strings there? So I noticed she had a King James Bible in her apron. She was a religious lady, so she was carrying a Bible in her apron. Can I see the Bible for a second? So I took out the Bible and I opened it up to the end of Parsha Shlach, and the end of Parsha Shlach, it's got the tzitzis, and it says over there, you have to have fringes on your garment. It says over there, fringes. Here. I never saw that. Wherever you go, you're a company representative. There's the Jew boy. If you're honest, there's the Jew boy. And if you're not honest, there's the Jew boy. That's your role. But we have to have the problem, the deep problem, and this is where it gets a little messy. Deep down, we have to recognize that HaKadosh Baruch Hu controls the whole world, that I can't do anything. If I have a talent, that I in business, in industry, in technology, in mathematics, mathematics, I know how to fix cars. Whatever talent I have, everybody's got a different talent. So that's true. It's your mission. The Chavos Halavavos, the Sefer Chavos Halavavos, Duties of the Heart, Sefer Chavos Halavavos, he talks about B'tochen, and he talks about having a parnasa. And he says, what parnasa should you choose? What you feel you have a talent in, because that talent is God-given. If you're good at it, so then use it. That's your mission in life. Now you could have several talents. Now you have to choose. You have to choose which one is going to be most productive in spreading Hashem's name in the world. Just because you're in business doesn't mean you're not obligated to spread Hashem's name anymore. You're just the opposite. People in business are more obligated because they mix with other people and they are more pronounced in the world of there's the Jew boy. Now if you're honest and you follow the Shulchan Aruch, so then you're a company representative.
That's eventually what you're talking about, is the four melachim. The dargis of how much you have to put effort and where you understand what you can do, what you can't do.
Yeah, there's a machlekes for malachim who had more b'tochen.
Oh, it's a machlekes. It's not.
I found a machlekes.
You found a machlekes?
I found a machlekes. It's a machlekes between there's a kind of
Nothing's clear in Judaism.
Right. One parish. Just quickly, there's four malachim. I don't want to go into the four malachim right now. I'm not prepared for. I didn't bring it with me. But is David HaMelech had more? David HaMelech was able to.
That's a Micham Eliyahu, right?
David HaMelech was of the four malachim. Chizkiyahu HaMelech, he was the least because he was afraid.
Sat down bed, didn't do anything.
He was afraid. Chizkiyahu HaMelech, he went to sleep. He says,
afraid
I'm
if he
afraid
goes down,
if any effort that I make is going to ruin my betochen, therefore I'm going to sleep and I'm leaving up to Kodesh Baruch Hu.
We could argue.
It's a weak dog, and where it's David HaMelech says he was able to get into the effort.
That's a
but it's-
Micham Eliyahu, right?
but the other say the other way around.
No, that's a Micham Eliyahu.
Right, but then there are others. There's
Who
others.
says the?
I have it in this. I forget that.
You gave a drash of the Lower East Side of Buda, and this is
This
Josh
is
you gave.
you know how old this sefer is. I'm
saying what
a little bit
this is what
older.
you said, and it's
I'm a little
this
bit
is-
older now, and
I was reading that piece, and this is the exact piece you were talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah,
before.
yeah.
It's from
Now there's another-
Hashgacha Pratis. See that? That's Hashgacha Pratis, everybody. See that?
Yeah.
There's only one. See?
Very good.
There you
There are
go.
those who say that David
There's
HaMelech.
no Teva. Hashem's in charge of everything. Poof.
Maybe Chizkiyahu had more betochen because David HaMelech. It's fair to say, it's difficult to say, but there are those who say that David HaMelech, the Orach Chaim says it. David HaMelech did not have enough betochen. The Orach Chaim says that David HaMelech did not have. I can't believe it, but the Orach Chaim said it. That he had to do an effort because he didn't believe that Kodesh Baruch Hu would do it by himself. But Chizkiyahu had so much betochen. That's why Kodesh Baruch Hu wanted to make Chizkiyahu Melech Mashiach. He was roy to be Mashiach, but he blew it. Because when he didn't get married, and he had the machlekas with Shai Navi, the Gemara Menachos, and he got afraid of the. He sent the doors of the base of Mikdash to the Melech Ashur. The kids, so he was roy to be Mashiach because of his betochen. Anyway, that's
a miracle. He said, and I have the exact page of the book.
okay.
No, it's a miracle.
It's mental telepathy.
Does this speak up? I have it on the wrong page.
So by Avram Avinu, but at the end, I'll have to save this for next time. We haven't even gotten to this yet. Avram Avinu, he's the other name of Yerushalayim. What's Yeru? Because after the Akedah, he said, on this mountain, Hashem Yero'eh. This is the place where they will see Hashem. On this mountain, Har Moriah, which is the Harabayas, the Temple Mount. That's where the Akedah happened. And after the Akedah's Yitzchak, so he said, on this mountain, Hashem Yero'eh. Because you're going to see Hashem. You're going to see Hashem within nature. You're going to see Hashem every second of the day. It's seeing the Hashgacha Pratis is the mission of the Yidden. So Yerushalayim is a combination of both names. The Goyim have the mission of social justice, of having shleimus, having a good society with only 7 mitzvahs, which are basically social justice, murder, theft, setting up a court system, not doing incest. These are seichel, these are reasonable concepts that every humanism understands the concepts of the Zion mitzvahs, the 7 mitzvahs of B'nai Noach. But it's social justice. We have Hashem Yero'eh. We have to see Hashem in everything, and that's the Yid's the Yid's mission. And therefore we have to look at Hashem, we have to have a relationship with Hashem. And that's why the Vilna Gaon says that the whole purpose of all Torah and mitzvahs is betachin, is trust in Hashem. Why? Because trust in Hashem is Hashgacha Pratis, is I believe in His supervision right here and now. And I see Hashem, and that the purpose is betachin of having a relationship with the Kodesh Baruch Hu every minute of my life.
It leads you or is required to?
It leads to.
You don't have to have it to start with. You just do it, and eventually it'll lead to bitachon.
Mitok shelo lishma bo lishma. Varu. No,
but
you're not holding by Chanina ben Dos's betachin. We discussed Chanina ben Dosa last week with the oil and the vinegar, and who said that, and his daughter lit the vinegar, and by mistake, and on Erev Shabbos it was too late to change it to oil, and she panicked, and the candle's not going to light, and he says, why? One who said oil should light said vinegar should light, and the candles lit not only Friday night but all the way through Motzei Shabbos. They made Havdalah on them, and that was like nothing for Chanina ben Dosa. What was the Chiddush? The Chiddush was for Chanina ben Dosa that, what's the problem? But he saw a miracle. We don't do miracles. The Beis HaLevi says, why don't we have miracles today? We don't have miracles anymore. In the old days they had miracles. We don't have miracles anymore.
Because you're not gonna have bechira.
You're not gonna have bechira. It's gonna ruin
signs outside Chaim Kanievsky.
In those days, they were in a higher.
It didn't make a dent in there. It was so simple to them. Like
they had also bechira those days.
Everybody has
even
bechira.
with the miracles, you see what happened.
Chanina ben Dosa didn't start lighting vinegar every week. Right. He also, the Ramban says, Kodesh Baruch Hu made Teva. He doesn't want us to violate Teva. There's a reason for Teva. There's a reason for nature. We have to live within the laws of nature. Kodesh Baruch Hu set up the laws of nature, and it's a chok. It's a law. It's inviolable. If you look at the laws of nature, it's a chok. We had last week, the chukas. A chok is an inviolable rule. And it's something you can't even understand. Go understand gravity. Law of gravity. You can't violate the law of gravity. You can't violate the law of entropy. And all the different laws. The laws of you can't violate the laws of nature. You can't. It's a chok. You have to live within nature. That's what a Kodesh Baruch Hu wants. Now it doesn't mean that a Kodesh Baruch Hu wound it up and Kodesh Baruch Hu can't change it. Of course he can change it. It will. When he wants to, like he did by the 10 Makkos, by the Kriyas Yamsuf, at Har Sinai. I mean, Kodesh Baruch Hu, when he wants to do miracles, by Yeshua, he made the sun stand still for 24 hours. And he could do miracles. He could do miracles. He doesn't want them because he wants the world to work within Teva. That's why the world is Havaya. Yud Kei Vav Kei. It's got its Lord, but it's Elokim. It's Teva. Yud Kei Vav Kei is a concept of Chesed, and Elokim is the concept of Din. Why is Elokim the concept of Din? What's Din? The Din is rules, limits, gevulot, borders. And everything's got its area. It's right. Water, it's got its limits. It's got its rules. That's din. So everything has to follow din. That's why din is justice, because you didn't follow the rules. You didn't follow the rules. You're ruining the Kodesh Baruch Hu's world. If you violate the rules, you're ruining Kodesh Baruch Hu's world. That's why there's a din in the world. That's Elokim. So Elokim is the rules. It's limits. And these are the rules of nature that Kodesh Baruch Hu wants. But so for a real tzaddik like Hanina ben Dosa, he understood more deeply that a Kodesh Baruch Hu is in the rules, making it run every second. Every second he's making it run. And therefore, vinegar, oil, what's the difference? Just change a few molecules around, just change the law of combustion, of oxidation. Who says that oxidation with that? Oxidize, that the oil has to oxidize in order to make the product. So the vinegar could also, why not? You could change it. You find by Lot. What happened by Lot? So Lot was out there and he was in front of the front door, and the mob was about to lynch him. So the Malachim put their hand through the door and pulled him through. You ever go through a door?
I did.
In the movies.
It didn't finish good.
Like in the movies, you just change the molecules around a little bit and line them up.
Change. You can do it.
Yeah, make sure
Why
the
you have to
molecules.
say that it's a change in the laws?
It's a
Just
no.
let it happen,
Go put your hand through the table. You can't.
No, but we all time speaking through laws that were created.
By Hashem, so
Right.
he can adjust them.
He doesn't adjust them. He can violate them.
He can violate them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it doesn't.
No, but I'm saying we just as a hamchasha,
Yeah.
as a hamchasha that he, like by Kriyas Yamsuf, he made a wind. Why did he make a wind?
That's good.
Why did he make a wind? Because he wanted to look at less to lessen the concept of a miracle. So he made a big wind, and they wrote a book about it 50 years ago, right? And that there was a big wind, and then the water split, and
the Medrash says is all the waters in the world split.
That's the measures. But it's taking the simple shot of it was only in Kriyas Yamsuf. That's the measures. They made a whole.
Going back to what you said at the point of the Gemara that Torah leads you
to B'tochen.
to Bitachon, and that's the goal.
That's the goal.
Bekus and Bitachon because that's the whole mission.
We had that last week.
It's a machlokes, which means
No,
it's a
it's
different
not a machlokes. Nobody says the opposite.
Torah. You have to work in midos in order to get the Torah.
Why do I have to
Torah?
Why do I have to work on my midas? Because Kodesh Baruch Hu is with me. I have to have B'tochen is not just because it depends what's your concept of B'tochen. B'tochen is not just I trust the Kodesh Baruch Hu to make it work my way.
No, I'm saying what's going to happen in Gan Eden.
Yeah.
According to that grow, you don't have to learn Torah in Gan Eden. You're ready with the Bekus. You're ready. You have the
According to many, I forget exactly the sheet. The pasuk for B'tochen is Tomim Tiyeh Mishem Elokecha. Now this Rashi, Tomim Tiyeh Mishem Elokecha, Tomim Tiyeh Mishem Elokecha. Be Tomim. What's the word Tomim? Tam. Perfect. Tam.
Not like we think Tommy is a fool,
But
but like a...
not a fool. No, but he doesn't. Don't think.
What's Tommy in Hebrew? Tamim.
Happens again.
Naive. But
Right,
if you think about naive, a person takes it the way it is. He doesn't
ask questions.
He doesn't ask questions, which is true. But I mean, you have to be smart and yet tomim at the same time. But it says tomim tiyeh with Hashem Elokecha. Now Rashi says hisalech imo b'tamimis. Go with him with tamimis. Don't ask questions. Go with him with tamimus, v'tetzapolo, and look forward for him taking care of you. V'lo tachkor achar asidus. Don't try to figure out what the future is going to bring. You know, if I do this, then this is going to make all these cheshbonis, make all these, you got a whole game plan, and if this happens, then I got to do this, and if this happens, I got to do that. I mean, when you're sitting with a guy with a business, you got to make a game plan, right? But really, in B'tachin, you don't make a game plan. We have to act as if we are in control. Act as if we are in control. Act as if we have a mission. Act as if this is my job in this world. No. But lo tachdur achasidus. But don't have a game plan. In the deep recess, the deep internal depths of your heart, let me finish. Kol ma sheyovo alecha kabel b'tamimus, whatever happens, even if it doesn't go. Because the best of game plans, the Kodesh Baruch Hu throws a curveball at you. But don't just accept everything.
Yeah, but this is he's talking about when something happens, don't ask why.
But
This guy knows exactly. But for the future, of course, for the future, you have to have a plan.
No.
Or no?
Chanina ben Dosa didn't have a plan.
You can have a plan, but not rely on the
It
results.
depends.
He's talking about whatever happens.
We are not on Chanina ben Dosa's level. Therefore, like this is what the Gra. Last week I brought the Shmuel Malson in the Sefer Emunah Hashgacha. So in the Sefer Emunah Hashgacha we brought that there are many levels of B'tachana, many levels of Emunah. And it depends where you're really holding. B'tachan is a duty of the heart. It's a chovas alavos. That's why I say, people ask me, what's my obligation to shtadlus? That's not the question. The question is, where am I holding in my b'tachan? Wherever I'm holding in my b'tachan, that's my obligation to shtadlus. Because we are not, even me, we're living in Olam Hazeh, we're living in this world. We don't really have b'tachan. We don't really have the deep emunah. Therefore, we have to live within the Olam HaTeva, and we have b'tachan. The Kodesh Baruch Hu is going to make it work out okay. But if we really believed, like Chanina ben Dosa, it was be different. Chanina ben Dosa, he didn't, like the story. You got to remember my stories. Rav Zusha, Rav Zusha, whatever. Remember that story about Rav Zusha last week? Rav Zusha he was the Rosh Hashiva, and they didn't have any food. He went, he put his hand on the Rosh's door, and then he walked away. What did you do? I did my shtadlus. And the guy came running. He brought him lunch. The really famous. That's one famous story about Rav Zusha. Another story about Rav Zusha is that somebody went, it says in the Gemara in Brachos, you make something good happens. You have a baby, you make Hatova Meitiv. Make Hatova Meitiv. You had a baby boy, Baruch Hashem. Something good happened to you. Hatova Meitiv. You're able to buy a new refrigerator. Hatova Meitiv. Like good things happen. Hatova Meitiv. Kashem Shemavorchan al Tov, Kach Mavorchan al Hara. Same way, it's a different bracha, with the same simcha. Even though we say Baruch Daina Emes, somebody's nifter, he loses a relative. The tragedy happens. You make Baruch Daina Emes, but with the same simcha. Now that's a very high madrega.
When something bad happens.
Well, let me finish. Yeah, these things. Something happened, you say Baruch Daina Emes.
I believe it's for the good. Which
So you don't feel it.
It could be a kapar savonos. It could be it's for my.
But the simcha, the same simcha.
But it's still a bad thing.
Yeah, but same simcha. To recognize this, Kodesh Baruch Hu is doing a good thing to me. It hurts.
Good.
So someone went to Rebbe Elimelech. It's a simple kasha. I mean, simple push-up shot in the Gemara. But they said, I went to Rebbe Elimelech, and they asked him, Rebbe, tell me, what, I don't understand. The same simcha, how do you make a bracha with the same simcha? So he says, I can't answer you, go to my brother Zusha. So he went to Rav Zusha, and he sees a hovel. It's terrible. I mean, like it was a hut. He didn't have any. The furniture, everything's all broken. He lived in abject poverty. It was terrible. He had no money. You know, his kids were clothed in rags. He didn't have any food to eat, and he's sitting there learning. And he didn't. Excuse me, Zusha. Yeah. The Rebbe sent me to ask you the question, like, how do you make a bracha, the same bracha on Ksheshim B'Borch on Al Tov, Kach B'Borch on Al Ra. So Zush says, I don't know why my brother sent you to me. I also don't understand that Gemara. Nothing bad ever happened to me. That's Rav Zusha. There was tzaddikim like that. All right.
Can I just,
Yeah.
Coming up to the 3 weeks, so Concept Bar Kokhba says, God, let me just live in Teva, right? Like, I don't want Hashgacha Pratis. I'll take the Teva part of the deal. We're so strong, we chop off our thumbs and we can uproot, trees, right? We weren't getting into Bar Kokhba.
Bar Kokhba.
Yeah.
I don't want to get into Bar Kokhba. I mean, like, how did Rabbi Akiva make a mistake? And think
No,
he's
not
Moshe?
that. No, just that Derek Teva, like, can you opt out to Hashem and say, no, I want the Derek, like, I choose.
No,
Obviously, the answer is
no.
no, because that's what was the downfall, right? Saying,
Ah.
I only want Derek Teva.
I can't answer you. Everybody has his mission. Everybody has his mission. Everybody has the way he looks at it. Some people, like David HaMelech, are able to live in the Teva and to chop off heads, and it's all a Kodesh Baruch Hu. And somebody else can't live in the Teva. He's got to withdraw from Teva and rely totally on Kodesh Baruch Hu, like Chizkiyahu Melech. And they're both tzaddikim. What's the right way? They're both the right way for different people. I can't answer you.
So Bar Kokhba is wrong because
I'm not saying it's wrong.
Gemara
Oh wait,
says-
no.
the Gemara says wrong.
Yeah. Koich v'yotzim yodin. Now,
That's the
it's such a delicate balance. If it's koich v'yotzim yodin, you forget that the Kodesh Baruch Hu is doing. David HaMelech says no. Hashem is doing it all. Bar Kokhba thought he was doing it. That was his mistake.
Just to separate. That's the okay.
He didn't make that.
Yeah.
You changed my whole